Cork City's heritage is rich and vibrant. It includes natural, built and cultural heritage, along with museums, archives and libraries. It also includes things like folklore and local history, genealogy, geology, landscapes and archaeology. Heritage is what we have inherited from the past, and it is what defines us as a city, unique and distinct.
To me, Cork Heritage means pride.
And celebration.
Community.
Preservation.
Connection.
Identity. It's where we came from and it's where we're going to.
The people of Cork City are enthusiastic and passionate about their heritage. And the Cork City Heritage and Biodiversity Plan, devised by Cork City Council with the support of the Heritage Council, seeks to work with communities to enhance, protect and restore heritage.
The Heritage Plan is very important for the city because it's a useful tool to protect various aspects and promote various aspects of the heritage of the city, not only archaeological but cultural heritage and biodiversity, etc. I've done a number of publications over the last 5 to 10 years which the Heritage Plan has directly supported me in. But one of the most exciting projects I feel that I've done is an annual autumn archaeology lecture series, which is in the City Library here in Cork in the Grand Parade. So from a raising awareness perspective, the Heritage Plan has been excellent for me.
We're very, very blessed that we have a very strong heritage office in Cork City Council, and also we've got a very strong heritage plan. And as part of that plan, Cork Heritage Open Day is a key priority to discover and explore not just the buildings, but the story of Cork City as well.
I'm Bernie Connolly. I work as the coordinator with Cork Environmental Forum. The Heritage and Biodiversity Plan is a really important document helping to highlight what are the priorities for the city, but also maybe where there are gaps and where organisations like Cork Environmental Forum can help to push and fill those gaps as well that are there. So striving to definitely have, you know, a wilder city with a lot more biodiverse spaces in it.
My daily life revolves around the Heritage Plan, and within it it's dealing with invasive plant species, and it's also looking at reducing chemical use, and we want to encourage native wildlife back here into Beaumont Quarry as much as possible, and this ties in with both of those action plans within the new Heritage Plan.
Here at the City Library we had a decade-long programme remembering the decade of centenaries. 2 exhibitions in particular dealt with the heritage of the city. One was the burning of the city, December 1920, and on the same night the Carnegie Library was burned. Cork City Heritage Office assisted with funding, with advice and with support in the filming of the exhibition and in the creation of the exhibition.
Here we are in Pope's Quay to launch Cork's first public outdoor chess tables. I teach stone sculpture and carving around the city. We've been holding twice weekly workshops to create the pieces and also the seats that I'm sitting on here today. I was very lucky to source some old limestone columns that had been discarded down in Mahon. The Cork City Heritage Officers' involvement has been there from the very, very beginning because they helped us to reclaim the stone and bring it to where it is today. By us bringing these into the city, it's not just acknowledging the heritage from the past, it's also setting up a closer connection between the kids and the city of the future.
With the aid of the Heritage Officer in Cork City Council, I do walking tours of St. Joseph's Cemetery here in Turner's Cross in Cork with Liam O'Higgin. The information here in the cemetery has made a huge impact on the local community and people from outside the city who come and listen to us here. A lot of people were not aware of the history attached to the people that are buried here.
Numbers are increasing every week and we find that very encouraging altogether. We started with about 20 and it's gone up to 40 or 50 now. It's just unbelievable.
My name is David O'Connell. I'm a carpenter. I've been a carpenter for the last 44 years. These houses really have a personality. They're a very distinctive house. Try and give these windows a new lease of life and to bring something that's nearly gone and try and bring it back for kind of the next generation.
During the pandemic, I started coming here every day as everybody was exploring their 2K and then their 5K. As I came here, I met more people and we developed a group called Friends of the Glen. I decided to collaborate with the people I met to make a book about the park. We were able to produce something that was really about celebrating this place. And I went to the Heritage Office to support the launch of that book and the distribution, I suppose, and the publicity around that book. I see the Glen as full of layers of stories. We can appreciate the nature that's here and we can see the ruins, but there's so much that go beyond that and still so much to be discovered. All of those things make it a magical place.
The Cork Traveller Women's Network is a community development organisation based in Cork City. One of the exciting and very important projects, I suppose, that they would have supported with the Cork Traveller Women's Network was the traditional campsite leaflet. This leaflet was a map in place of all the traditional campsites out through Cork City. It was very important to us to record them stories. Travellers didn't originate from nowhere. There is a long past journey that we wanted to share with the settled community and the younger generation.
The Cork Heritage Office has helped us with a really nice project to get a window into people's own back gardens called How to Invite Wildlife into Your Urban Garden, which shows the diversity and the nature that's in the green spaces in private land in the city. I think the main benefit was to realise that a little bit of habitat can provide a huge space for nature in the city.
There's three particular areas we've worked with the Heritage Office on. The first one has been the further development of the Heritage Trail we have in Douglas, with a map of the area and then QR codes with information across the village. The second thing has been the development of our Heritage Week activities. So it's giving a good variety of activities that tell the story of Douglas and its heritage. And of course the final piece that we're working on is the oral history and history of Douglas. So again, very positive responses from people who grew up in the area, but also people who now live here and want to know what it used to be like.
Beaumont Quarry has got 10 kind of habitats, and one of the main habitats is calcareous grassland. The main issue here with Beaumont Quarry is invasive plant species. It has a number of them. A lot of them you have to use chemicals on them. Behind us here there's clematis, old man's beard, and through Cork Nature Network they got in contact with William Walsh, who has Billy Rent-A-Goats. So we have goats here on Beaumont Quarry to remove the clematis in a small area. It's about 0.8 of an acre. And it's just introducing city people to goats and how they can actually manage a site for wildlife.
Welcome to Cork City Hall. This is probably one of the most historical buildings in the city. It opened in 1936 and this is part of one of the 35 buildings that have been opened for Cork Heritage Open Day. And I've been part of the tour of City Hall for over 10 years now, so I'm always really proud to give a tour of Cork City Hall. The great thing about Cork Heritage Open Day, it's an exploration of the city's built heritage. And so we're now in our 18th year. And every year, like 25,000 people and more actually take part in Cork Heritage Open Day.
We're the Shandon History Group and we deal with local history and history of Cork itself. So today for Heritage Open Day, we're providing a trail of wall plaques that are of historic interest in the Shandon area. We've provided them on boards here in the room inside, and then we're offering people a walking trail numbered based on the plaques to go around and look at them in their own situation.
We are having a tour through the gunpowder mills in Ballincollig. They make you black powder. We have Jenny Webb here today, who's come over from the UK specially. She co-wrote a book with Anne Donaldson. We'd have a mixture of locals and people maybe from the city or tourists who are very interested in local history. Cork City Council's Heritage Office, they've been very supportive of all activities that we hold here for Heritage Week.
As part of Heritage Week, I'm leading a Cork Jewish culture guided walk. We have a look at the old synagogue and we end up at Shalom Park in the area known as Jewtown. Cork City Heritage Office has always really supported my research and getting the walk up and running. Locals and visitors alike very much enjoy the walk. They get a lot out of it. They also give me information and stories from their own Jewish cultural history and from Cork's history, so it's always fantastic.
We're here today to celebrate the Colgate Festival. This is our 12th year, but excluding the COVID lockdown. Now we celebrate to honour our ancestors who were Shawleys on the Colgate. We came from this area ourselves and we have great memories of it. We get great support from City Council, Heritage. It's very important to keep the history alive, especially for our own children and grandchildren.
Cork City Council acknowledges the tremendous work that local groups and organisations do across the city to promote and protect heritage in the city. The work that they do is vital. For further information on the plan and indeed on any of the heritage projects, please go to the website corkcitycouncil/heritage.ie.
Heritage means remembering
Our past.
Our history.
Beauty.
Knowledge.
Our heritage, you know, it's what makes us, it's in our DNA.
Brings joy to daily life, including my own.